God knows how long he thought, and God knows what about. There was much that he feared, and he felt painfully and tormentingly that he was terribly afraid. Then he remembered Rogozhin himself, recently at the burial, then in the park, then suddenly, here in the corridor, when he had hidden himself in the corner that time and waited for him with a knife. His eyes, he now remembered, his eyes looking out of the darkness then.
If things are well with him, he won't come. He'll sooner come if things are not well with him, and things are probably not well. What if he comes out at that corner now and stops me by the stairs?
Lev Nikolaevich, come with me, brother. You got to.
I knew you'd show up. Weren't you at the house?
I was there. Let's go. So now, Lev Nikolaevich, you go straight on here, right down to the house, you know? And I'll go along the other side. And watch out that we keep together.
Is Nastasya Filipovna? And it was you who looked at me from behind the curtain earlier?
It was.
Is Nastasya Filipovna at your house?
Yes,
And it was you that looked at me from behind the curtain earlier?
it was.
Then why did you...
Let's stay separated. It's better that way. Keep hanging straight. Let's go.
And where is Nastasya Filipovna?
She's here.
Why don't you light a candle?
No, better not. Sit down. Let's sit a while.
Rogozhin. Where is Nastasya Filipovna?
There.
Asleep?
Come in.
I can barely see the bed.
You can see. Go closer. You're trembling, I noticed, Lev Nikolaevich, because
You're trembling,
Because
I
if you
noticed, Lev
scream
Nikolaevich.
or shout,
Almost like when your disorder comes
fit.
over you. Because of your illness and a fit and shouting, now somebody may hear it in the street or the courtyard and they'll start knocking.
It was you?
It was me. We'll spend the night here together. There's no other bed than that.
Yes.
So let her lie here now. Next
Maybe I
to us.
do.
Next
I
to
don't
me
know.
and you.
My morning's on maybe. My legs won't work. It's from fear, I know it. Fear will pass. And I'll get up. No!
decided to, so it's not to give her up, man. Not for anything. Not to anybody. We'll spend the night quietly. Today I left the house only for 1 hour in the morning. Otherwise, I was always by her. And then, the evening I went to go get you. I'm also afraid it's stuffy and there'll be a smell. Do you notice the smell?
Brother, it's hot now and sure to smell. I'm afraid to open the windows, but at my mother's there are pots of flowers. A lot of flowers, and have such a wonderful smell. I thought I might bring him here, but apart from Yetva would guess because she would...
Curious one.
Buy some bouquets and lay flowers all around her, but I think it'd be a pity for him to cover her up with flowers.
Listen, tell me, what did you use? Knife. That same one.
Same one.
I also want to ask you, Parfyan. I have a lot to ask you about everything. To begin with, you better tell me from the first beginning, so that I know. Did you want to kill her before my wedding, before the ceremony on the church porch? With the knife, did you want to or not?
I didn't know if I wanted to.
Never brought the knife to Pavlovsk with you?
I can only tell you this about the knife, Lady Nikolaevich. I took it out of a locked drawer this morning because the whole thing happened this morning, between 3 and 4. I kept it like a bookmark in a book, and this still wondered me. The knife seemed to go in about 3 inches, or even 3.5, just under the left breast. But only about a teaspoon of blood came out of her nightshirt.
That I know. I've read about internal bleeding, internal hemorrhage. Sometimes there isn't even a drop. The oil goes straight to the heart.
Wait, you hear? Do you hear?
No.
Footsteps, do you hear? In the big room. Footsteps?
Footsteps.
Should we shut the door or not?
Shut it. Ah, yes. Yes, I wanted those cards. Cards. They say you played cards with her.
That officer, she horsewhipped that officer. And the cadet came too. The cadet came running.
In any case, when after many hours the door opened and people came in, they found the murderer totally unconscious and delirious. The prince was sitting motionless on the bed beside him, and each time the sick man had a burst of shouting or raving, he quietly hastened to pass his trembling hand over his hair and cheeks, as if caressing and soothing him. But he no longer understood anything of what they asked him about, and did not recognize the people who came in and surrounded him. And if Schneider himself had come now from Switzerland to have a look at his former pupil and patient, he too, recalling the state the prince had sometimes been in during the first year of his treatment in Switzerland, would have waved his hand now and said,
"An idiot."